What's good, everyone? If you're new here, my name is Salty, and we're gonna get down on a subreddit that I haven't touched in a minute. Let's get into some entitled parents. Here we go. Entitled mom won't get off the plane and doesn't want anyone else to either. I was recently flying back from Orlando. As I'm sure we all know, Orlando with its many theme parks is the entitled parents capital of the world, but thankfully the entire flight was without incident, for the most part. Aside from when the ice bag to keep medicine cool that the man sitting next to me had stowed in the overhead started leaking on me, and he got angry at me for calling a flight attendant over. So the plane lands. I'm covered in liquid germs, distilled finely in water that ran through the cracks in the overhead bin of the plane older than I am. This was a night flight as well. All I want to do is go home and go to sleep, after a long shower. As is tradition in every flight ever, the moment that the plane has made it to the gate and the door is open, everyone is standing up and getting ready to go. Except for the family in front of me. There's a 4-year-old girl and her mom, and the father as well, only the father stands up. The doors open. The people in the front of the plane start getting their luggage and moving. The father is standing. The mom pulls her sleeping daughter into her lap. More people in front are getting off the plane. I'm waiting for my chance to go. I have nothing stowed in the overhead. The father is standing. The mom takes a blanket and puts it over her daughter, still on her lap. The line has moved to the row in front of me now. The father is remarkably efficient in grabbing the luggage, and in one fluid movement, he has grabbed everything of theirs and headed toward the front. The mom is still sitting there. She doesn't even look like she's about to stand up. Surely this isn't the first time she's ever been on an airplane. Doesn't she realize it's time to go? There's a pause, and then the man who sat next to me grabs his leaky medicine bag and heads off. Then it's my turn, and I'm behind him as quick as possible. As I walk past the row in front of me, where Mama is still sitting there with her little princess in her lap, she loudly whines, excuse me, can I please disembark with my family? I said nothing because I was well past the point of dealing with anyone, but in the middle of the night, when everyone is tired and jet-lagged already, I found it to be the pinnacle of entitlement that woman expected everyone to just wait around until she decided it was time to take her little darling, stand up, dust herself off, and trundle off the plane. If there was a reason why I didn't like flying, this is definitely one of them. Just another crappy airliner. Thanks for flying Budget Airlines. We hope you enjoy your stay. Entitled mom shows up almost 4 hours late on a school night. Doesn't even pay me for the hours we agreed upon. Some backstory. I've been babysitting since I was about 12 years old. I've been a summertime nanny before I got a job at the restaurant I work at now, and I love being around kids. Up until this point, I hadn't had to stop watching any particular child. Usually I would cease my services when children got old enough to be left home alone. I was a junior in high school when this happened, and I knew the boys and entitled mom really well beforehand, or so I thought. So I had no issue watching the children. They were very sweet, polite, and well-behaved boys, and I never had any odd feelings towards the parents up until this point. So when the boys' mother asked me if I was free to babysit them, I was like, sure, why not? About 2 days before I went to babysit, I did all of my usual first time working for this family things. Are there any allergies? From when to when will I be watching the boys? Are you comfortable with the pay rate we agreed upon still? Do any of them need medication? Everything was normal. The plan was I was going to be babysitting from 4 p.m. after school until 9 p.m. that evening. Feed the boys, give them a bath, get them in PJs, make sure the little one went potty before bed at 7. He was 3 and was still getting used to not wearing pull-ups. And I would get paid when the parents got home from their dinner party. $5 per kid, 2 boys, per hour, for a total of $50 when they arrive. Keep that in mind. The night I'm supposed to babysit comes around. It's a fairly normal experience. The boys were, as they always were during church, well-behaved and respectful. They stayed out of trouble while I made dinner. They didn't get fussy during bath time. Went to bed after a story and a few lullabies. Everything was great. I then had 2 hours to do my homework. Great. Well, 8:30 rolls around and the entitled mom texts me that they are going to be about 30 minutes late, as the party ended at 9 instead of 8:30. I'm like, that's fine. And I text my dad and he says it's fine. So I go back to homework. Now, me having no concept of time unless I'm really paying attention, I didn't notice when 9:30 passes and it hits 10:30. My dad calls, concerned because I'm not home yet. I'm concerned too, because entitled mom told me that she would be home only a half an hour late, not an hour. So I tell him I'll check in. I text her and I get no reply. I try to call and I end up having to leave a voicemail. I wasn't left a number for the father, whom I hadn't met at all before this because he often traveled for work, because his phone was broken at the time and couldn't receive or send calls. So I was stuck there until the couple got back. I called my dad and let him know the situation, and he said that if she didn't get back to me by midnight, to call the police. I thought that was a bit excessive, but nonetheless I agreed. 11 o'clock I text her again. No response. Call again. Rings until voicemail and I leave another one. Still trying to be polite, but add a bit of urgency, as it is a school night and my dad expects me home. 11:30 hits and I text her again. This time I get a response. We're on our way now, don't worry, we'll be there in 15 minutes. So I'm relieved. I text my dad and he just tells me that he'll wait up for me. I start packing up my stuff because I finished my homework. I check on the boys to make sure they're asleep, but well, one more time. And I'm prepared to go as soon as they walk in the door. 11:45, they don't show up. I'm a bit annoyed now, but I give them the benefit of the doubt. Maybe there was traffic. Midnight, still aren't there. I text her again, but this time I'm not polite at all. Entitled Mom, I need to go home. My dad is worried and wants me home. I have school tomorrow and a physics test. When will you be here? No response. I put my stuff by the front door and text my dad again. He's annoyed and tells me that if she doesn't show up by 1 a.m., then he's coming over to watch the boys so I can go home to bed. 12:30 I get a text. We'll be home in just a few. We got hung up. 12:45 the couple gets home. I text my dad that they're home and he says that he expects me home ASAP. Entitled Mom comes in with her husband, and neither of them looked like they were in a rush. I was visibly annoyed and the husband looked extremely confused by this. This is also the first time he has met me and he thought I'd be older. Entitled Mom, thank you for watching the boys. She hands me an envelope and I look inside to see $40. I don't want to be rude, Entitled Mom, but you owe me more than this. We agreed on 40, right? No, 50. 5 per kid per hour. This is when the husband chimes in. Honey, we're really underpaying her then. He looked like he was doing the math in his head. No, we agreed upon this, so this is what you're getting. Now, I was stunned at this point. Up until now, Entitled Mom had never shown any signs of entitlement. And after years of being around an alcoholic mother, I knew the difference between drunk and sober. And Entitled Mom was completely sober, so I was extremely confused. Honey, when did you tell her we'd be home? 1 a.m.? I can't hide my shock, but Entitled Mom is already shooing me out the door. I'm stunned as I'm pushed with my stuff into the driveway and given a swift goodnight. I look at the contents in the envelope and I'm extremely angry by this. I text my dad that I'm on my way home and I start to get into my car to leave, until the husband comes out. How much do I owe you? Technically almost $60, but it's fine. No, take this. He hands me 2 20s. I'm sorry about her. She told me she had a sitter for the entire night. I thought you were a college student. That was unfair. Drive home safe. I'll pay you the rest this weekend at church. True to his word, he gave me the last 20 he owed me, as well as a bit of extra for the troubles. This happened 2 more times before I refused to watch the boys anymore. I still see the boys at church, and I love them to death, but I couldn't keep doing this as a high school student, and the boys thankfully understood. Yeah, she just wanted to have a night on the town. No fucks were given by this entitled mom. At least this story ended on a good note. Entitled Mom tries to justify her son stealing my birthday present. So this happened to me way back in the early 2000s. I was in 2nd grade and Pokemania was still going strong since late 1998. I'd say around 80% of the kids owned either Game Boy. I myself had a teal Game Boy Color with around 8 games. So on my birthday in December 1999, one of the gifts I got was from my cousin, who was just as into Pokemon as me, had given me Pokemon Yellow and a link cable. This was crazy for me at the time. I thought only red and blue existed. So when I saw there was a Pikachu version of the game where he actually followed you around, I was speechless. Well, actually, I did know about the game, but I didn't believe it was real. There was another kid who, for the sake of the story, I'll call Nathan. He told me about the game, but he was also the same kid who said he found dinosaur bones in his backyard, so I was very hesitant to believe him. I decided I wanted to show it to him when winter break ended in January 2000. On the 2nd day of school in January, I brought my Game Boy, Pokemon Yellow, and my other copy of Pokemon Blue, and the link cable. Me and Nathan realized that with multiple game carts, we could essentially each have all 3 starters from the beginning, which we did successfully. I had shown the Pokemon Yellow to another friend. This friend was EK, And unlike Nathan, who just lied a lot, EK was a thief. He stole $30 from the teacher's purse one time, but nobody said anything, and had also stolen movies when visiting other students' houses, including rented ones, which is just evil. Anyways, I had let my guard down as everyone, including me, was excited to be trading and battling again during lunch and recess. At the end of the school day, I was gonna get on the bus when I realized that the Game Boy and the Pokemon Yellow were missing. I ran quickly back to the classroom to see if I had left it by accident, but nope, nowhere to be seen. I then ran back outside to see EK holding my game and also sticking his tongue out at me. I chased him for about 2 blocks before I began to run out of breath and eventually tripped on a tree branch on the sidewalk. I decided to instead just go home, tell my parents what happened, and they would confront EK's parents. I had seen which house he ran to, so we went over to his house, and when we knocked, Entitled Mom shouted from the inside, "The f*** you want?" Then she realized who we were and opened the door saying, "Oh, silly me. Anyways, how can I help you?" My parents explained the situation and that EK had stolen my game. Entitled Mom then interrupted midway. "Huh? Why in the world are you accusing my kid of stealing? Who do you think you are?" That's when I see EK peeking from behind the wall in the inside of the house, smirking. "I just want my game back because it was my birthday present." "Hey, don't interrupt me, you little sh**." My parents, "Why are you speaking to him like that? Can you please calm it down?" Entitled Mom then mumbled, "No." It was at this point that EK ran up to us and told his mom, "He's trying to lie so he can take away my stuff." "Yes, I know. My parents, "What color is your son's Game Boy?" Entitled Mom, I think it's green." "Then why is he holding that blue one?" Everyone then stays silent for like 30 seconds staring at each other. I then break the silence by asking EK to just give it back before he literally spits in my face. My parents push him back and clean my face while Entitled Mom continues her rant. "Fine, so he took the game, but why does that matter? You already bought the game. You're clearly rich enough to buy him another one." My cousin, the one who had bought the game, was also there. Had enough and tried to yank the game from EK's hands. After about 10 seconds of struggling, EK bites my cousin on the arm and then throws the Game Boy down amid the fighting. The screen survives, just with a few scuff marks on the side of the device. I quickly pick it up. Pokemon is still inside, and all of us walk away quickly. I then realize the battery cover is missing. I turn around to see EK stomping on it and breaking it into little pieces for no reason. Entitled Mom tries to chase after us, but my dad and cousin push her back. Eventually, we left safely, with Entitled Mom screeching curse words at us and EK crying like a brat as we drove off. You do not mess with another man's copy of Yellow. I remember Pokemon pretty much being the only thing I looked forward to at that time in my life. So for that kid to steal it, I definitely understand the frustration here. Alright everybody, I hope you enjoyed the stories today. Make sure you subscribe for more videos like this, and we'll see you all in the next one. Peace.